Hey everyone, today's video is going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to take the Legion Go S with the Z2Go and we're going to compare Bazzite versus Windows 11. I've been away from YouTube for a little bit now because I've been quite sick over the last couple of months, so hopefully my voice isn't too much of a distraction for this video. But let's not delay any further and let's dive into it. First up is Spider-Man 2, and this game, it was a little bit hard to get a consistent reading on what exactly the FPS was because the scenarios aren't exactly the same here. As we go through numerous different TDP settings, you can see that it's roughly in the same ballpark. So I think this game you can safely say is performing pretty much the same on Windows as it is on Bazzite. As we go through some other games, you'll see that the results are kind of mixed depending on which game you're playing. When we switch over to Baldur's Gate 3, this is one of the games that does seem to have a bit more of a pronounced advantage here for Bazzite. It's not like it's dramatic, but getting an extra, 3 to 5 FPS when we're close to 30 is quite a big jump. And as we go through the rest of the TDP range, it seems to be holding a fairly similar pattern, although it's not quite as dramatic when we get down to 15 watts. One game that I did find to perform very poorly on Windows was actually Cyberpunk. And if we're looking at the results here between Windows 11 and Bazzite, we're getting between a 10 to 15 frame advantage for Bazzite, which is pretty strange. When I tested Cyberpunk with Windows 11 versus Bazzite on my One X Fly, I was actually getting the opposite results, where I was finding that Windows was outperforming Bazzite. So it's kind of weird seeing it completely flip when we take a look at the Go S. Another game that seems to be performing significantly better on Bazzite is Helldivers 2. In some cases, it's only like 3 to 5 FPS. In other cases, we're getting closer to 15 FPS, and even at one point 20. When you take a look at Helldivers 2 and Cyberpunk, you can really see what some of the other YouTubers have been saying, and that's that Linux seems to run better with the Z2Go. I'm not sure why, maybe it's because it's a lower powered APU, but it does seem to be running quite a bit better. And when we take a look at the next game with Grand Theft Auto 5, I tested it just at 2 TDP levels. And here once again, we're getting quite a performance jump when we take a look at Bazzite. Even down to 8 watts, it's running significantly better on Bazzite than it is on Windows 11. And of course, not every game follows this pattern. When we take a look at The Witcher 3, this is kind of an oddball here. We have Bazzite getting outperformed by Windows by a decent margin. I did find this consistent when I tested on some other devices, so it seems to just not be running very well with Bazzite. And that seems to be the case kind of no matter which TDP range you're in, and whether you're at 40 watts, 30, 25, or down to 15 watts. The only exception being when we get down to 10 watts because Bazzite just seems to do better at extremely low TDP. And now moving on to Doom Eternal, this game seems to run good on pretty much all hardware that I've tried, but it is running better on Bazzite. I think that extra efficiency with Bazzite OS seems to carry over here to Doom Eternal. We're mostly getting anywhere between 5 to 20 FPS in advantage for Bazzite. There are times where Windows is slightly ahead, but I think that might be more the difference of what was actually happening on screen. And amazingly, even down to 10 watt, we're getting over 40 FPS on Bazzite, which is pretty decent considering we're at Ultra Nightmare settings. And our last game is for some extremely low TDP and low settings. We have the lowest settings on Fallout New Vegas. 10 watts, we're getting 60 FPS on both Windows and Bazzite. And when we drop down to 5 watts, we're getting 40 to 50 FPS on Bazzite, and we're getting closer to 20 on Windows. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. Just a nice short and sweet video. I do find that Bazzite tends to be a little bit more performance in the games that I've tested. So if you're going to be picking up one of these Z2Go Legion Go S's, I would strongly recommend taking a look at Bazzite or installing SteamOS when it comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.